Hello and welcome to my final resting place. I am Thomson, MD, physician and surgeon. I was born July 19th, 1857. My great-great-grandfather, in fact, came to this country from Ireland and settled in New Jersey. Now, he must have done well because my great-grandfather was a Princeton college student and he became a lawyer. Sadly, he died early in life and left behind my grandfather and great-uncle Benjamin. And the family at that point moved up to what would become Johnsburg when they were 9 and 11. My grandfather Charles was a blacksmith, and my father Edward was also a blacksmith. He followed in his footsteps and became a smith and a farmer, and he married my mother Maria Morehouse from down in Washington County. And there were 4 of us. There was my brothers Thomas and Edward, my sister Mary, and myself. We all were raised in Johnsburg. And my childhood in the North Country was very inspiring and inspired confidence and independence. As you all would agree, in this area, this place is magnificent, the North Country region. It's very inspiring. And the wilderness was right outside our back door, and hardships of harsh winters were part of everyday life. I got an education in one-room schoolhouses and in Glens Falls, and also on my own. And when I decided to become a physician and surgeon, I approached a doctor by the name of Swinburne. Dr. Swinburne was an Albany Med surgeon, and this was a man who deserved a novel of his own. He's a fantastic man, and he graduated first in his class at Albany Med. He worked as a unpaid surgeon in the Civil War. He treated soldiers during the Civil War. And like my grandfather Charles, his father passed away when he was just 12 years old. So he was forced to take care of his family at a young age as well. So his life and work greatly impacted mine. Meeting him was a fateful event. Whatever he saw in me caused him to take me on as his student and foster my talents and skills and set me on the road to my destiny. Now, I graduated Albany Med in 1882. I was not first in my class, but I was in the top 10. After my studies, I sort of created what fellowships in surgery do now by visiting hospitals in Europe. I went to countries like London, and Paris, and Vienna, Berlin, Stockholm, Christiania, a bunch of places over the course of many, many years. Let's see. The practice of medicine and surgery requires a lot of daring. You take risks. You're responsible of preserving human lives. And while I studied the principles of surgery, I practiced medicine broadly and only used surgery when it was absolutely necessary. One such instance was when I had to perform one of the first open heart surgeries. Yes, I did. I performed one of the first open heart surgeries, and it involved a man who suffered a cut on the surface of the heart, and I had to stitch it up. And I really don't care to talk about that circumstance. They were unique circumstances, and that was something I would never do again. There was a lot of blood. I care not to talk about it. But I did set up a private clinic and hospital at the Colvin building in 1885. That burned, and we had to move to South Street And then 40 Warren Street, the St. Mary's Rectory. That was our hospital, and we were a bit ahead of the incorporation of Glens Falls 12 years later in 1897. Was there romance in my life? Well, yes. North Country workaholics do marry. And I married Lulu Rook, a local girl, very lovely. And our wedding date was June 5th, 1886. And we had 2 children. We had George and Kathleen Louise. And our lives were full. They were very full. 2 children, in my personal opinion, is very plenty. I retired after 25 years in medicine and surgery to enjoy the community and give back and serve on the Board of Education, as well as worked as a health officer, part of the Redlands tribe, and also as an active Republican. My brothers stayed local, and together we founded the Thomson Realty, and at one point we owned 19 properties, not the least of which was a business block on the corner of South and Elm Street, downtown Glens Falls. I died on September 15th, 1920, overlooking West Mountain on my front porch, sitting in my chair. How fortunate I was to have lived a life of wonderful relationships and travel and the mentorships, everything that was so inspiring. I lived a very great and full life. Thank you so much for joining me today. Woo-hoo!